Should I just stare at the camera for a little while? There's nobody in here, so I don't know. Should I get started or what? Hey, what's going on? It's Trent Goodbody, Freedom from Government here. And I wanted to have an especially important talk with you guys tonight. How many of you, I don't know, this might end up being controversial or something. Hey, Sean, hey, Pup 4 Public Safety, how's it going? What's up? Hey, I am Lavoy. Wow. Awesome. That's cool. Oh, you want me to spit it out, huh? Yeah, we may all need to do a little self-examination here. I mean, I was going to ask, who here allows the fear of jail or handcuffs or police to influence their decision making? I mean, I'm going to go kind of deep. Like, what if we have a purpose during this life, and if we don't stand up for something, and I would go one further to say something right, maybe this is a test. Yeah, government is force, but to a lot of people, government is an authority figure. And we may need to reconsider who we make an authority in our lives. This brings me to the topic of travel, believe it or not. See, government is its main objective and main purpose from its inception was to protect our rights. And one of our rights was always to travel. I mean, it's been around a lot longer than any constitution or Bill of Rights. As a matter of fact, that was a question or a comment on my last video, or one of the last videos. They said, can you show me in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights where the right to travel is enumerated? And the short answer is it probably isn't, because that existed before government. It was so common and such a known right that it didn't need to be written down. It was just common knowledge, And then commercial drivers came along, and I bet commercial drivers were always an issue, even before automobiles and commercial motor vehicles, because there were cattle drivers, and there were other kinds of, that's where the term originated, people that were moving property or persons for hire. A hot mess, yes. Hopefully we're all figuring it out. Oh yeah. I have a video about, it might be the same one, about the guy who got pulled over on his horse. They wanted a driver's license. They wanted to park it. It's classic. And that's the thing. The thing is, our right to travel is going to be usurped by the government unless we stand up for it. And as I'm sure you've noticed, they have been doing lots of overreach in the recent years. And they also do, I hate to admit it, but they do acts of terrorism on their own people. I mean, who here hasn't come to a different conclusion than the popular narrative about 9/11? You know who? Like everybody knows it was an inside job, right? People, some people don't even think the airplanes hit the towers. And that's probably true. And I bet we're getting ready to experience the next level of illusion to deprive us of more rights. So I have come up with a new concept that I believe is the most powerful yet. You see, I'm a purveyor of these aluminum signs at shop.freedomfromgovernment.org, and I just came up with a new one here. And it states, not operating in a commercial capacity, liberty, travel is a God-given right. And unless we have replaced God with the government, even the Declaration of Independence says that our rights are derived from God. And when the government doesn't protect our rights anymore, it is not just our obligation. I mean, it is not just some willy-nilly thing. It is our duty to change or overthrow that thing for future generations. Yeah, we just got these in stock. And I also made it so that you don't have to buy two of them at a time anymore. You can just buy one if you want. This is the brand new one. And you see this design over here of the, what do you call that? These are 21 bucks at shop.freedomfromgovernment.org. We also have the white leet speak, which is just where you put letters instead of numbers. And we also have the black leet speak. And we also have the original private. These are all original designs by me. If you see them on Amazon or other people's websites, they're knockoffs, and you'll get bad mojo using knockoffs. I'll tell you right now. But we also have these really awesome no trespass signs. It allows, it's a contract, $5,000 per person per day, or any part thereof. And we also always retain use of force to remove those who are trespassing. We also have the no GMO humans sign, which can be used for a workplace or a home. It says here, individuals whom have received experimental mRNA gene-modifying vaccinations are not permitted to enter this establishment. How do we know that that stuff is not contagious? I mean, I don't know. But it's our right to have private policy on our private property. So individuals found in violation of this private policy will be asked to leave and may possibly face criminal liability for endangering organic organisms who wish to remain as nature intended, unadulterated and unaltered, by pharmaceutical corporations who face no liability in the case that their gene therapy vaccination have negative consequences on all of humanity itself. So, I mean, this is kind of turning the tables. They put out in the media that if you're vaccinated, you won't catch the disease or whatever, but that's proven to be false. They also put out in the media that if you get vaccinated, it will prevent the spread. That has been proven to be false. So, I mean, like, when are we gonna realize that, we don't need to follow everything they tell us? And I realize a lot of you people here on my channel are awake, not fake woke, but, they, the ones who control our society, the ones who have made it okay for men who identify as women to to compete and actually set new records in women's sporting events. The same they that has taken away your right to travel and turned it into a privilege. I believe there's case law saying that if government does that, we can just do whatever we want with impunity, you know? Somebody might know what that one is. Yeah, see, traveling and driving in NC, which is a corporate state, which only exists on a piece of paper, is synonymous with a government permitted activity that is actually being used to protect the rights of others, because commercial traffic is the most detrimental to the highway system. These big trucks that go on the highways, they do a little more damage. And that's how it was back in the day. The cattle drivers who would bring their cattle through town would destroy the street and make leave a bunch of cow dung everywhere, and they would generally, historically, they have not been responsible for their activities. And they just put us in that category as well as drivers, even though we're not operating in a commercial capacity to transport people or property for hire. So, yeah, the way I think about it is I am free, regardless of any government words on pieces of paper. I am free to move my body with a machine. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I boil it down to. And it's not a government granted right. All you people who want to say, show me in the Constitution or Bill of Rights where you guarantee the right to travel, is unwritten. It is something so basic and so fundamental that it can't be denied. And in today's twisted world, it has become a crime. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen a video on YouTube where somebody got their window smashed out or something wrong with, when people attempt to travel. I'm pretty sure they don't smash out windows very much anymore, because I'm pretty sure they got sued for, harming people. Imagine if a piece of glass went into your eye. That's much more detrimental than any kind of offense or a violation you could have committed on a traffic stop. So when the government becomes destructive to these ends, it is our duty to stand up, to abolish, to overthrow. And there's some bad news. Like, I don't know, we need to begin standing up for ourselves, because we're on the verge of having a real problem. There's this thing being introduced called FedNow. I don't know if you've heard about it, but let's discuss this for a second. Bear with me. It'll take just a second. Well, it's funny. It's not. It's like it's censored.
Make your first credit card work harder for you.
I don't need ads. Check this out, you guys. 3, 2, 1.
In today's fast-paced world, time is money.
More people, businesses, and organizations are demanding instant payments. That's why the Federal Reserve is developing the FedNow service, a safe and efficient instant payments infrastructure that will modernize the U.S. payment system. The FedNow service will give financial institutions the opportunity to innovate, enabling their customers to send and receive money in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Funds will settle between financial institutions in real time, which means there's no buildup of interbank obligations, and end users will have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order, and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment. She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service. Once she initiates the payment, her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message, either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service
Look at that logo. It looks a lot like PayPal, doesn't it?
Passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment, and the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean supplier's financial institutions, or the master accounts of their correspondents. The FedNow service also immediately sends a payment message with an advice of credit to the supplier's bank and notifies the shop owner's credit union that settlement is complete. Finally, the supplier's bank credits the supplier's account in near real time, making the funds available. The supplier's bank will have the option of sending a confirmation to the shop owner's credit union that the payment has been posted to the supplier's account, providing the coffee shop owner with certainty that the payment was received. The FedNow service will be designed to be flexible and support a broad range of potential use cases. Banks,
you got the right idea, Tabby's daddy.
Industry providers can use it as a springboard for innovation to support a range of applications such as account-to-account transfers and bill pay. For example, now imagine it's after hours and the shop owner gets a reminder that her car insurance bill is due today. She may be able to avoid a late fee by initiating a bill payment in her credit union app and selecting to pay it now. Later, she repays a friend for a pizza they shared using an app provided by her credit union that clears and settles through the FedNow service. With this service, banks and credit unions can remain competitive by offering the type of payment options customers increasingly expect in today's fast-paced world. The FedNow service will support flexible adoption, allowing financial institutions the option to work with aggregators, processors, and correspondents to adopt the service. Banks and credit unions will also have the option to adopt the full set of FedNow capabilities or sign on as a receive-only participant. The initial launch of the FedNow service will focus on core clearing and settlement capabilities. Additional features will be released in phases to meet evolving industry demands.
Additional features will be released after everybody is already invested in it.
FedNow.org.
You know what I mean? Once everybody...
Working practices when flexible.
Shut
I was
up.
one of those dinosaurs.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the thing about this FedNow thing is, I'm sure we all noticed how the logo there really looks a lot like the PayPal logo. You know? It sure looks like PayPal there, don't it? But, you know, they have something like this also in China called WeChat Pay. And if you jaywalk, you will have the fine deducted from your account before you finish crossing the street. So I feel like this is no good. And now I know why PayPal fell on the sword, so to speak. You know, this is what they plan on selling us on next. So, I mean, we're really at a crossroads here. And it has to do with standing up for our rights, or they're going to be gone forever. This this is effectively a cryptocurrency put forth by the Federal Reserve, who has already been in control of our currency for 90 years, 80, 90 years, since 1933. So, I mean, I know we're scared. I know that the fear, they propagate the fear constantly. You know, like, oh, you might get sick. Oh, you might die. Oh, there's a risk of death. You know, I know. I really hope the Fed is dead. But all this stuff that is going on behind the scenes needs our support on the outside, or else it's going to be worth nothing. If we are not advocating for the change that we want, we won't get it. So, yeah, well, we need to reframe that anger or being pissed into something that is productive. And I can't tell you what I'm talking about or what I mean, but I can effectively say that we need to start. Yeah. We just need to start standing up for our rights. And I have a belief. Oh, that was the police. That was Nye County Sheriff's Office. I have a belief that, and yeah, I might be wrong. I have a belief that we will evaluate our life here on Earth when we're done with it. And I know not everybody believes in an afterlife, but like, you can't deny there's a component to our. Oh, come on. There is a component to our existence that is not only unexplainable, but wonderful. Something is really, I don't know, like I'm going to be able to explain it, but I have this really strong intuitive feeling that if we fail to do the right thing here, it will last longer than just this lifetime. And that doesn't mean a spiritual thing. That means like future generations. Like, what kind of world are we leaving for our kids? So I forgot to mention before, we also have these motorcycle size lead speak private plate replacements. Yeah, Lenny, I love the idea of that. I love it. But I mean, we're still like under the quote unquote leadership of this idiot. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. And yeah, our souls, like, for real, there's something about us that makes us conscious beings. And I really think that it has more to do with something greater than us, and the I don't want to start a bunch of controversy here, but I feel like we've been lied to about so many things that it is, I mean, everything is just backwards. And this world is not ruled by it's not ruled by a good, how do I put this? It's ruled by Satan and deception. And that is the main thing going on here on planet Earth is deception from cradle to the grave. No joke. So, when when I make stuff like this, how do we know that that the world is not like, you know, I mean, if you do some research instead of getting offended or you know, like instead of having a closed mind, we should have an open mind, you know? Yeah. I definitely don't operate in the commercial capacity. Yeah. Yeah. And you know about these plates, they're excellent quality. Look, I'll open this one. They each come, I mean, if you wanted to keep the plate in a protected state, you could just not ever open it, but let's see. Each one of them comes individually shrink wrapped, and the quality of these things is impeccable. It won't scratch off. You don't hear any kind of, you know, I'm catching up. I just got a bunch of these in stock and they will be sent out. I apologize to everybody that's been waiting, but wow, I had a crazy, overwhelming response and I've been struggling to keep up. So please be patient with me if you haven't got yours yet. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to check in with me because sometimes the shipments do get, something happens, you know, and I do ask for situations like this to please allow 2 to 4 weeks for delivery. Shop.freedomfromgovernment.org is where you can find these. And you won't get this good of quality. You won't get this high of quality like anywhere else, you know. I mean, if you do, that's cool and all, but like, this is the original. I am the original creator of these, and I'm here to do you right. I don't make them too expensive, you know. I try to keep the cost down because these, you know, they are they're aluminum, they're thick, they're good, they're high quality. And they are tools intended to help you get out there and exercise your rights. This ought to really catch their attention if they read that. Travel is a God-given right, because what's the first thing they do when they come up to your window? They ask for driver's license, registration, and insurance. But if you let them know that you're traveling under a God-given right, you know, such as is stated in the Declaration of Independence. You know, I had somebody ask, oh, can you show me the Constitution or Bill of Rights where it says you have the right to travel? They're misinformed, and because they don't realize that our rights are not granted by government. Government is not God. Exactly, Dave. Great. Yes. When they come up to you and ask you for your license, registration, and insurance, just respond with a question. Are you planning on using those against me in court? Not only have you not provided an incriminating statement against yourself or provided documents to them that would incriminate you, but you've effectively turned the tables on them and asked them if they're going to be using anything against you in court. And if they say no, that's great. Why are we talking then? Because that's your job, isn't it? To get stuff, get me to self-incriminate here on the side of the road. But if they say yes, all right, we are planning on using that against you in court, a proper response would be, why should I give you anything that you're going to use against me? I would like to use the exclusionary rule of the court to my advantage and you have to take it. If you want it, you have to take it. And yeah, is this a custodial arrest? You don't even have to ask them that. If they turn on the lights and they have you, that is not a what do they call that? A detainment? No. It's always an arrest. If they stop you, it's an arrest. And if they stop you, it's actually a warrantless arrest, even if it's traffic. Okay. And here's the thing. People who have applied for a driver's license and use that do not always have to be acting in that capacity. Unless they can prove that you are actively transporting persons or cargo for hire, you're not acting in that capacity. So it's okay to have a driver's license, but it's also wrong for them to prevent you from traveling if you have a suspended license. There was a person or a man in a video just a couple videos back on this channel, Marion County, where they let him go even after having a suspended license because they don't have the right to hinder your travel. And when they bring more than one cop around, that's conspiracy to deprive you of your rights. Yeah. So, yeah, like what other explanation can you come up with? Oh, they're being nice or something. They let him leave with a suspended license. We can't just roll over every time. Because if we do that, we never know how far we could have got. And their bluff works. So remember that America was a new idea, And even as like back in 1939 when the Nazis were demanding papers, I'm sure that's not how it was going in the States, I'm sure that there was no seatbelt law and there may have been speed limits, but I don't think people had to go to jail, unless they committed a crime, unless they had an actual victim. Sure. I mean, I have a video here on this channel of me getting pulled over in downtown Reno, Nevada. And I used that. Are you planning on using any of that against me? You know what you're asking for. And stood up for myself. I mean, even if they're threatening you, it can't hurt. It can't hurt to stand up for yourself. And in that circumstance, they let me drive away or they let me use my car to leave. They claim that their ticket printer was broken, It seems like they always have to have some kind of plausible deniability. Yeah, they're not your friends. You got to hold your ground. Yeah, and speak your truth, All right, yeah, I will look into that. Fast me. We might get a Discord going here pretty soon. But I don't know. I really hope I got the point across tonight. We need to operate with a higher authority, because if we don't have a higher authority, they'll take that spot. So go check out and get yourself a set of these new Liberty plate replacements. It's shop.freedomfromgovernment.org. And, check out some of this other goodness too that we got. You can buy individual motorcycle tags now and individual traveler car size tags too. You don't have to buy a pair, because I realize that not everybody wants to use one on the front. And motorcycles, you usually don't even have a front one, do you? So, I don't know. I think I'm going to wrap this up for now. But, yeah, I mean, nobody's telling you to do any kind of, make any rash decisions or to do anything you don't feel comfortable or safe doing. But I know that when I spent time learning and studying, it gave me a renewed confidence. So knowledge builds confidence. And just take comfort also in the fact, knowing that there is tens of thousands of people out here doing this. You're not alone. I mean, yeah, I can accept money orders. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can write out what you want to order, and then include a money order for that amount, and send it in an envelope to me at Trent Goodbody, Freedom from Government. Please, I ask that you don't fill out the money orders, because then they're reusable. Then we can use them to barter, because they're actually backed by something that's not like the Federal Reserve. So, yeah, put all that in an envelope and send it to Trent Goodbody, Freedom from Government, 116 Main Street in Gabbs, Nevada, 89409. And or, I realize we have to go back to old-fashioned stuff. Just, you guys saw, if you didn't see the video that I played during this about FedNow, man, we really got to think about a cancel culture on this digital currency stuff. And I realize that there is a new gold-backed whatever coming or whatever. But the thing is, if we usher in this thing that we think is something else, they got us right where they want us, especially when they say, oh, we're going to introduce new features as time goes on. I realize it's like sending a blank signed check. Yes, when it's wrapped in a piece of paper, it's not as detectable. I get it. You may not want to do that, but it's most helpful for me. If you feel more comfortable, you can definitely put a name on there, or fill it out, or put something in the notes, or I don't know, something as a convenience. Yes, I will even accept like silver, or other, get a hold of me. You can always text me at 503-899-3335. And I don't know, I still have a few silver coins. I think I'm going to include a random silver coin in occasionally in an order. And I got a whole bunch of other coins that are old and rare, like from the 1800s, some pennies, and like there's a steel penny from 1934. And I think I'm going to start including random collectible coin in orders as well. Anyone who wants to send me a blank check, I will happily accept. Or my best friends call me Cash. You can just make it out to cash. It doesn't have to be all the way blank. But yeah, you would have to be a fool to accept the digital currency. Will this video still be up when it is over? What do you mean, Fast Me? Yeah, I got some good ones too, but I'm good. I used to do a lot more coin collecting, but I'm not really as interested in the intrinsic value now as I am in just the what do they call it? Spot value, because it's going to be a tool that we use. I don't need to be collecting things. It's just going to be a tool. So, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It doesn't matter if you buy stuff in my store or not, but I really value the time that we get to spend together here, because it's amazing. It's a miracle that I didn't get shut down when everybody else did. So, yeah, it's going to be available. I leave them up. So yeah, with that being said, make sure to go check out not only shop.freedomfromgovernment.org, but freedomfromgovernment.org has a whole treasure trove of information. How many chicken for the license plate? Yeah, that's a good question. How many is it worth? I mean, yeah, we would have to figure out the logistics, but yeah, I just got some chicken wire, so, and some cages. So I'm open, you know. I'm not going to lock you into no PayPal replacement where they deduct a chink from your account for jaywalking. You know? Yeah. Well, anybody else have anything they want to say? They will be here in the next couple days. I just got a big shipment and they will be going out. I apologize. I really apologize for the delay, and I appreciate your patience. I'm going to try to get everything shipped out as soon as I can. But it seems like every time I order a whole bunch of these, they just are gone. So I really appreciate your patience, like really. And I'm so thankful for your patronage and your business. And I want to make you happy. So please be patient with me, and I will make sure to take care of everybody. You know, I'm not like Amazon with a big infrastructure. I just do it on my own. So I don't want to do anything to make anybody upset, you know, or have them stuff come up missing, you know. So yeah, let me know if you got a problem, and I will do my best to help you with it. So what, there's a Vice episode of me and Paul Enslaved. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to look that up. That's awesome, because that would be a new one. I've got some Fox interviews, and I got arrested on Animal Planet, Discovery Channel. So yeah, right on, Headballer. I'm gonna have to go check that out. You know, I'm sure that they probably have a biased, slanted report. My daughter, she was recovered. I can't go into much more detail than that, but I haven't been able to contact her since she went to a place that I took her to, and I'm not able to contact her because we don't have a signed release. So if you hear this, Crystalline, please contact me. You know, I love you, and I did what I did because I love you, you know. So please reach out to me when you can, even if, you know, I will do whatever it takes. So yeah, well, you know, the conditions that, I don't know, you know, downtown San Francisco is not a joke. And as soon as I was in that environment, I was like, what did I do? What am I doing? Yeah. So, but it was a success. I mean, I was like, whoa, but yeah, totally dad mode. All right. Any charges stick from your arrest by the Washington Fish and Game guy that harassed you in the park? No, as a matter of fact, there's nothing. It disappeared. So, which is good, you know, no problem here. But I did have to endure that ordeal. So, you know what they say: you can beat the rat, but you can't beat the ride. But you can beat the ride. Usually, if you can penetrate through the brick wall of the cop, you know, like they usually have this tough outer shell. If you can penetrate through that and help them to realize that the Constitution is not scripture, So it's not even really for us. The Constitution was written to bind our servants. It wasn't meant to restrict us at all. And as a matter of fact, there's a famous forefather who said something around the lines of when the government is, when the people are scared, then the government is, what does anybody know that saying? When the government is scared, then it's better for us. But when we're scared, it's worse for us. It's better for them. So, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be appropriate for any of us to threaten someone's life. It's not appropriate for someone acting under color of authority, So, yes, exactly. Complete submergence. Thank you. When government fears the people, there is liberty. When people fear the government, liberty is lost. So, yeah, I'll give you a republic if you can keep it. Where's that law written? Yo, here we go. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, it's all good though. Hey, thanks for joining me again. I'm going to be back real soon with another live, and I'm going to be stuffing envelopes with rare collectible coins at shop.freedomfromgovernment.org. And or you can send a money order to 116 Main Street, care of Freedom from Government, Trent Goodbody, Gabs, Nevada, 89409. Or you can always text me or call me if you're in a bad situation. 503-899-3335. I try to always answer. So, yeah. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button, please. I love you guys. And I'm looking out for you. Like, if you have the cop pulling you over, give me a call. I'll help you. I'll record it for you, Even if you don't have a recording device or something, it could be really helpful. For free. I'm not going to charge you for a conversation. But then again, sometimes I'm on the road and I can't answer. So, I mean, don't be psycho, but if you don't get through, like, you can try calling me again or texting, and I will try to always respond. So, in some way, even if I can't answer. So, all right. Hey, thanks you guys for hanging out with me for another hour or so. And I'll be back real soon. I love you. Go to shop.freedomfromgovernment.org and pick up some cool tools, or just go to freedomfromgovernment.org and read. Thanks, guys. Have a great night and have a great weekend. Peace.